Good morning, everyone. In this video, I'm going to address the topic, did Jesus die on a cross? Now, please pardon any noise you may hear because I'm sitting in a parking lot with my windows down and sometimes it gets quite busy in here. But did Jesus die on a cross? Now, there are many who might dismiss this as being, what's the big deal? This is a big deal. And as I go through this presentation, hopefully many of you will see that this is serious business here. Now, the word cross comes from the Latin crux, as being the instrument that Jesus was executed on. Now, Latin is not a language of the Bible. There are only three languages of the Bible: Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. Because of the bias of translators, they inserted the word cross, again from the Latin, into the Bible. They willed it in. Cross is not a word in the Greek, the language in which what many of you know as the New Testament was written in. The Greek word used as the instrument upon which Christ was executed on is called a Starrose. Starrose means an upright pole or a stake. So Jesus wasn't hung out, with his arms spread to his left and right. He was hung up like this. It was an upright pole, not a cross. Starrose. Please do your own research. I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I am simply providing you with the information so that you can do your own research and that you reach your own conclusion on this. Now, here's some reasoning that I like to use, because I believe reasoning is important without all of this emotionalism that gets in the way. Suppose Jesus was executed by stoning. Suppose Jesus was burned. If the technology had existed back in those days, suppose Jesus was executed via a firing squad. Would people today be using those things as icons? You see, they use a cross, but would they be using, say, stones or fire or a gun as instruments that they will wear in jewelry? Or will we see a stone or fire or a gun on top of church steeples? You get my point here? The cross is a pagan symbol that has its origins in Babylon. Now, I'm going to put this in the description. This is from the book Vine's Complete Expository Dictionary of Old and New Testament Words. This is by W.E. Vine. Quote, "The shape of the cross had its origin in ancient Chaldea and was used as a symbol of the god Tammuz. The shape Tau, or T, the initial of his name, in that country and in adjacent lands including Egypt and Assyria. So the cross has its origins in Babylon. Many of you have heard of the Egyptian symbol, the Ankh. That's a cross. And we see the Tau, that is the T, the cross symbol, in churches all over the world, stationed on top of church steeples, fashioned as jewelry that people wear. We see it on gravestones and on tombs. Now, at 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 14, the Apostle Paul writes, "Therefore, my dear friends, flee from idolatry." At Exodus chapter 20, verses 4 and 5, the Most High God, through his prophet Moses, says, "You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me." Since the cross is a pagan symbol with its origins in Babylon, and that what is called Christianity has adopted that as its symbol, people should be blown away by that. They should be appalled and astounded at that. Christianity has adopted a pagan symbol as its symbol, as its image. That is idolatry. Now, of course, Those who are Christians are not going to say that, because they're going to say, well, we don't worship the cross. Well, what are you doing? What are you doing with it? It is your symbol. Someone told you that it represents Christ and that it is a symbol of hope and salvation. No, it's not. That is a pagan symbol, and it goes against the command of the God that you claim that you worship. It's a fashioned symbol. It does not appear in the Bible. And as I stated earlier in this presentation, the word cross comes from the Latin word crux, and Latin is not a language of the Bible. Please think about that. So Jesus did not die on a cross. He died on a starrose. That's a Greek word. A starrose is an upright pole, a stake. And one must consider, what has such a tight hold over the masses to believe in a pagan symbol, to venerate that pagan symbol? So the cross is not a symbol for Christ. It is not a symbol of hope and salvation. It is a pagan symbol. This is R. Jerome Harris. Thank you for listening.